Hey everyone, so today I'm doing an ASA building tutorial. I'll be covering some of the general basics to start for those who might be new to Ark, might be new to base building, or if you just want to try and add some depths to your builds. And then I'll be going into some of the improvements with the new build system in ArkSurvivalAscended and how you can use it to make some more complex builds. So, for starters, basics of Ark. There are three types of foundation piece. These act as something that you will use to build the rest of your builds off of. There is the square foundation of various materials, wood, stone, tech, metal, etc. There is the triangle foundation here, same deal, same varieties. And then you'll also notice that I have pillars over here. While these aren't technically foundation pieces according to the crafting system, according to the building system, they are foundations. The second thing that you will need to know about the foundations and the basics of the building system is that pieces can only be placed so far from the foundation piece. So you see I have two ceiling pieces here, and then if I grab another ceiling piece, I can do one more, but if I try and put it out any farther, you'll see that at the top of my screen there we have can't place wood ceiling, requires nearby foundation support. Now this is very easily fixed. In the case of pillars, we can just pop them underneath here, get them attached to the ground. And that one looks like it's already attached, so let's find out. Let's put, and there we go. Now I can do another 3, and you'll see when I go to do a 4th, it tells me again. So 3 basically pieces out from the foundation is generally how far you can go with these. The general rule of thumb, if you're going to be mixing and using the two different shapes of foundations, the square and the triangle, is that generally you will want to use them back and forth. So for one square, you use a triangle, especially if you plan on making any type of octagon shapes, which we'll look at in a second. So here you can see I have 3 square foundations. Zoom out for a second here. And then over here, I've got, it's probably actually easier to do this, a bunch of triangle foundations. And generally, they will fit together nicely when you interchange them. So I have 1 row of triangles, I have 1 row of squares. So you'll see if I go to put down this square, this triangle fits nicely right there, and then fits nicely right there. Okay. So now I have color-coded these so you can see a little bit better what I'm talking about. So you see here I have a square foundation, I do 3 triangle foundations, then another square. And you'll see on the separate rings of the octagon, I even rotate between square and triangle. So we have triangles on this ring, they will put a square there. Then, across from this square, we will have triangles again. And you can make infinitely scaling size circle or octagonal. I guess they're not technically circle, they're more octagonal, but anyway, you get the idea. You can make these infinitely scaling. You just may have to play with how many foundations per triangles you need. You can do other things where if you wanted to put down 2 square foundations, for example, and then you wanted to do 1 triangle and then 2 square, you just have to keep the numbers consistent. And as long as you keep everything consistent and you place them in the right spots, when you come back around following your layout, they will always meet back up perfectly. There you go. So as long as you interchange them, you'll be good. Now, with these 2 squares here, I'm going to do 1, 2, and you saw 3 triangles. And then over here, same deal. This is going to look a little funny. Just believe in yourself, keep going. If all else fails, you can pick up stuff because Ark, thank goodness, now has the ability to pick up stuff. And there you go. Now you've got a nice little spot in the center. This is actually how I make a lot of my greenhouses. And then I put glass triangle foundations, or not foundations, glass triangle ceilings over this, and then put a little tank on top of this. And then I make stairwells up the octagonal staircases here, which you can do, by the way. There are spiral staircases. I really think they're more meant for singular blocks, because if you look at them, the angle at which they rotate, you can see these here, the spiral staircases. They really seem like they're meant to go up like maybe one flight, because if you try and stack these, they look very peculiar. But I'm going to get to staircases and stuff in a moment here. So back to my multicolored foundations here. I would like to explain one of the new best parts of the building system, and actually some of the best parts of the building system, honestly, now. Many of the building parts are now modular. You no longer need to learn a separate engram for doors, windows, etc. When you make the singular part, in this case I'm going to be using wood walls, you can just change which version of the wood wall you want to use. So if I close this here and I go to put down my wall, you can see right now it's the basic wall. However, you can use the ammo reload button, whatever yours happens to be mapped to. Mine is mapped to R. I believe that's the default on PC. You can see down at the bottom, right above my hotbar, if I press R, it will switch the mesh, and it will allow me to make a variety of doors, including very nice double doors, and the window, and even a secret door, if you really want to. This looks like a wall, however, it spins. Very neat, very cool. I believe this can also be pin coded. Yes, it can. So you don't have to worry about, you know, if you don't want somebody in your base or whatnot, you can pin code a lot of stuff, actually, including the hidden doors. You can also, now when you go to place stuff down, flip the mesh. So you see this one has very nice detailing on the inside of it, okay? But if I wanted to, and I wanted to put the, whoops, hang on a second, and I wanted to put like the log here, like this type, on the inside so that I have, you know, maybe this side on the outside, you can very easily do that now. All you have to do is press the E button and it flips it. Now, bear in mind, if you're going to put these two types of meshes together, unfortunately, they do leave a bit of a gap. However, this can be solved by pillars if you really want to put these two types of wood next to each other. It does make for some very nice, a little bit more complex builds with materials. Speaking of models and mesh that are now flippable and changeable, the objects we were talking about earlier, the roofing, are also part of this system now. So you can see here, this is the triangular roof. Let me get a good, there we go. You can see as soon as I tried to put it at the top of this wall over here, it flipped. Now if I put it down to the bottom, it flipped again. So this is really, really nice. Makes building stuff super duper easy, because before in Ark we really weren't able to do this type of thing where, like, if I place this and I place that, okay, we had no piece for this center here. It was a completely separate piece that we never had. As a matter of fact, we only had this piece. We only had this top piece that went up. We did not have the piece that went down. And it was very frustrating from a build perspective. But now they all, oops, that's the wrong one. They all click and look nice. This is actually a good time to bring up another point of the building system, another improvement actually. If you want to click stuff together with the snaps, you are able to look at a particular piece and mouse over either the higher point on the piece or the lower point on the piece. So for example, on this wall, you can see, here, let me pick these guys up for a second and I can show you better. It's kind of like how Minecraft does it. I know it sounds silly, but it's like how Minecraft does it when you were targeting a block. If you target the top of the block or the bottom of the block in order to flip stairs upside down. It's essentially the same thing. I can target the bottom of this wall here to have it place normally like that, or I can target the top of this wall and come downward. Well, I can't do it on that one because that'll interfere with that. But I can do the same thing here. See, I can target the top, I can target the bottom. So if I want to do it that way, I can do it that way now. On that note, this triangle piece actually has two models that you should be aware of. The first triangle piece, which is the kind of like, I don't want to say it's a square triangle because like it's not, but this is like the even triangle. This is the triangle that matches the triangle foundations. The second triangle has a 90-degree side. There we go. So with this, you can do things like make dormers. So if I come over here, I can show you what I've done over here. You can see these guys. Let me really quick. So that, ooh, that zoomed a little bit quicker than I remember. So now over here you can see I'm actually using both types of these triangle roofs right here. I'm using the regular ones that match the foundations below, but then I used the 90-degree angle to click to this one so that I could place this and it doesn't clip on the inside. Okay, this is a new piece, a really needed addition. Really, really love this. So that allows you to make little, little dormers like this, or you can also remove the pieces once you've placed these down, if you wanted to, and then you can use the sloped roof piece. And there you go. You can make really actually pretty legitimate dormers. And then, if you wanted to, you could use the 90-degree slope. And there you go. You have a beautiful little roof peak. So the last modular piece that I'm going to be showing off is the roof part. The roof part doubles as the roof, the ramp, and stairs. This is both versions of the stairs. So here we go with the ramp. That is the straight type of stairs. And then we have the spiral stairs that I was talking about a little earlier. But you see what I mean about the twist. Like that is very, that is steep. So I really think these are more meant for, placing them as like a walk up type of area. If you are doing for example, if you wanted to walk up from here or whatever, or, down this way or whatnot, make them look like that, kind of thing. Which is, it's not bad. It's cool. I'm definitely sure that a lot of people are going to find a lot of really crazy cool things to do with this. On the subject of the stairs, though, I did want to show you how I do the spiral, quote unquote. It's like my version of the spiral stairs, so that if you wanted to do something like I have over there and do like a beautiful, octagon here, but you're not exactly sure how to do the stairs, I'm going to show you how to do it right now. So grab our stairs here. So basically, we're going to be using the basic stair model. There we go, this one. And the idea is that you can use this in place of a square piece, either a square ceiling or a square foundation, because it takes up the same footprint. So if you want to go and make stairs to go up to another level here, we can do this, and then we can use a ceiling piece that matches these foundations here, which is this guy over here. I just got to change the model for it. There we go. So we do that, we do this, we do that, and there you go. And now you can either continue this same footprint foundation all the way around to make another floor, or if you wanted to, when you get to the next square, you can put more stairs and make it go up again. Because again, these match the square footprint, and then you just do more of the triangles again, and then that would click, and you know, so on and so forth. And this is how you could make kind of pseudo spiral staircases. Like they're not perfect, they're not super duper amazing, but I like them. I think they look nice in greenhouses, and it's a good way to kind of be able to move up and down the stairs even in an octagonal structure. Speaking of which, I'm going to use mod really quick to just grab these really fast so that I can show this. So if you do have an octagonal structure like this and you want to make something like maybe dual staircases, you can absolutely do that. So if I put the wall here, because this is going to act as a piece, as the pieces that everything else I'm about to do is going to click to. I will put the, there we go, the triangles, because those match the foundations below, okay? And then I can do the stairs. And you see, come on, there we go. And you can see here, that matches the outline. And then if you really wanted to, you could just keep going straight out like that. Right, and then you have this nice little area, and you can either, like, you know, build off of this and, you know, continue on with the triangles like this. Continue your structure, match what's downstairs, you know, kind of thing, because that's these guys right here, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Oh, I might have goofed that one up. That might need to be a see, this is why you gotta check every once in a while. These are not meant to be that. These are meant to be squares. So, you know, this whole thing, it's gonna, you know, take a little bit of practice getting used to. But yeah, now look at that. That's nice. Like, that's real nice. And then if you've got the railings, come on, there we go. Get some railings up in here. Have them follow around right there. And yeah, there you go. You've got a really nice little... This is how I made the area in the Great Hall, actually. The lower floor is opened, and that's where I have all my cooking stuff. And then the upper floor, the quote-unquote upper floor, is basically like a half octagon, so that I can look down below. I love split-level stuff. I have a problem. I really enjoy building split-level stuff. Like, I would totally put like a little dining area or something, or maybe just put the kitchen underneath here, and then like put the dining area like right here so I could see when my friends are here having dinner or whatever, you know. Like, there's a lot of things that you can do with it, which is really cool. You can make like little hidey hole things now too. So like, for example, if I just do these here, come on, there we go. You could, I mean, heck, if you really wanted to, you could put one of the, I gotta flip this, there we go, so that it matches the texture. You could, is this a hidden wall? Yeah, it is. Okay, so the hidden wall doesn't fit exactly. That's a little disappointing. But honestly, that's easily fixable with science and building knowledge. There you go. Problem solved. Now you'd never know. There you go. And now I have a little hidden wall. I have a little hidey hole underneath the stairs here. So, you know, you could put storage under here. You could put machines that are a little bit more like unsightly, that just don't match the vibe you're going for. Like, you can create all sorts of neat little things like that with these staircases and whatnot. Now, if you really want to get creative and wild with staircases, you can offset them using the walls. And I'm going to go over how to use the walls to offset stuff a little bit more later, but this is just an initial to go along with the stairs. So if I put the half walls here, I can take the stairs and you'll see, you know, at least half of the stairs, actually maybe more, is still out of the foundation. So this would be a way to create like slightly raised areas, for example. So if you wanted, like, you know, a stage or something like that for whatever reason, or if you just wanted to get your dinosaurs up off the ground like a little bit, this would be a great way to do that without having to use foundations. You know, because we right now, I'm sure it's intended, we can't stack the foundations. This is a great way around that. Now, you may have seen me fly by this, and you may have said to yourself, what in the heck is going on? So, many of the building parts have a lot more snap points than they used to. And a lot of the building parts can now be overlapped a lot more than they used to be able to. Not only can they be overlapped more consistently now, but they also no longer perform what's called Z-fighting, where the object is technically taking up the same space as the other object, and the game doesn't understand how to render both of those in the same space. So looking at an object from a certain angle would cause one surface of the object of one object to be viewable, but then looking at it from another angle would cause the other surface of the other object to be viewable. And this would create like a flickering effect over the objects. It was didn't look good. You can't see what I'm doing right now, but I'm doing like the let's not talk about it face, like the, you know, nope. But yeah, anyway. So now we can overlap a lot more objects, and we have a lot more snap points to work with. So you can see here what I've done is I have snapped a couple of the railings to the roofing, by the way. So the roof is at the same angle as the stairs. The ramp is a little bit slower of an incline. It reaches the same point, but it goes a little bit farther. It basically kind of goes like, I don't want to say it goes like double the length, because it technically doesn't go double the length, but you get the idea anyhow. But yeah, so that is those three pieces right there. And luckily now the railings snap to those pieces, so you can do all sorts of neat things. And the stairs will snap to the other roof pieces. You can make these kind of like little, you know, overhang type of things if you wanted to. You could even snap another roof piece on here. Now, the issue, of course, with that becomes you can't snap the roof pieces into each other. We still can't do that, which is extremely unfortunate. I have tried. It won't do it. It won't do. I think it's just, I think if it goes more than halfway through another piece of mesh, it won't do it. But if it overlaps like a tiny bit, like as long as basically 75% of the object is not being overlapped, it'll do it. That generally seems to be how it works right now. And who knows, somebody might create some type of mod that changes that later. But anyway, you might be looking at these pieces and saying, wait, what the heck are those pieces? We have half walls now, which also double as spacers for other types of building stuff, but are also railings. And the railings are half of a half wall. So basically, 4 of these railings together, or 3 of these railings together, my bad, will make a full-sized wall. And with this, you can make all sorts of really neat kind of open air room separators. These can also be flipped with E. So if you like a particular design or you want to do something kind of weird and different, you can totally do that. And these make really nice, I found, kind of area separators between like RG pens and stuff like that. You can make some really, really nice looking pens with these. If you put this around like the octagon and stuff like that, looks really nice. I don't want to do it here. I want you guys to experiment and, you know, have fun with it and see what you can come up with. Speaking of which, you can see here the railings will go through each other by a decent amount, and they will also snap to the roofs. So you can do all sorts of things in that regard. So let's see, we can just do something like this really quick. Put a railing around here, right? And then we can have this go up there and come down there, and there you go. You have a very cool little, whoop. See, now that one snapped to this roof part here, but what I want it to do is I want it to snap to the straight, which we can get it to do. There we go. Now, if you can't, for some reason, like you're just not getting the snap that you want, you see, once builds get a little bit complex, the snaps do get a little bit confused. You can see there, that one's trying to go down. However, you can press the Q button and you can rotate through all of the potential local snaps. And you can see there, that one is the one that I was looking for. And again, there we go. So you can create some pretty neat looking little roofs. If you raised this up, you could totally create like a nice little porch with this. So yeah, overall, with all of the new tools we have available to us in the building system, you can create roofing of some really interesting proportions. You can make a lot of really nice hip roofs now, where you use the triangle corner piece. Okay, this guy, the one with the right angle, so that you can click and click together to make that right angle you need to corner it off. You can also make somewhat more complex things like a gambrel type of roof. Now, unfortunately, the sloped walls do not snap to the ramp pieces here that I used for this gambrel. However, you could do something like this where you have, you know, a little bit of fencing, or if you wanted to put like a half wall or something up here and then run it the other way. Or you could just leave it open too. I mean, the island is kind of generally tropical, so, you know, you could work this into your build somehow. But yeah, you have a lot of stuff to do now with the roofing system. You can use these sloped walls now as supports if you like. You can see I've used them as supports on this one. You can even put the fencing on the bottom of these types of half wall supports. Actually, one of the ways that I created like a standalone, so you can use some of these parts as spacers. I make no guarantees of how well stuff will click together if you do decide to use these as spacers. This is an advanced technique I'm going to show you guys. So when you normally put down a railing like this, you see it goes kind of from the top of whatever to a little bit below there, and then if you click this, you can see now that kind of gets together there. But it doesn't really look like it's, you know, super duper great, not terribly consistent. Now this has different snap points. You can snap this lower if you want. Okay, it goes up from here, but again, it doesn't quite connect, so I don't know what's going on there. But anyway, you can see it's not super great looking. However, since we can now put down the sloped roofing upside down, what you can do if you like is then put the fence there, and then since this is being supported by this foundation up here and it's also connected up here, you can safely remove this wall and the fencing will stay. So this is a way to space the items a little bit better, or maybe a little bit more consistently with what you are trying to do with your build. I will flip that so you can see what I mean, so that it looks a little bit better. That's how I did a lot of the like really more complex designs on my other build that I have on this channel, the Redwoods build. So if we do that there, okay, get the fence, I put the fence here, here we go. And then we're gonna flip it. Okay, then we can remove this piece because now it's being supported by those two other pillars. Then we can do this. I believe I'm going to be eating my words in a minute. There we go. Okay. And then on the underneath, I'm trying to target the underneath of this. Okay, so maybe that one takes up that space, unfortunately, so I can't put it there. But I could stack them if I wanted to. So again, that's probably because of the fact that that's taking up more than, that would be overlapping more than 50% of the of the actual piece. However, you could then do something like that if you wanted to. Kind of get crazy with it and get like this kind of almost elven looking kind of thing going, you know. And if you have a wall up here, let me get the wall. If you have a wall up here, there we go. From the inside, you probably wouldn't really, you can't really tell too much. And that generally, like, it overlaps fine. You could probably do some pretty cool stuff with this. But yeah, and the fencing also goes on top of these too. So here, I'll show you what I mean with this one. So the half walls are not just half walls in regards to height. They are also half walls in regards to width, which means you can use these to space things in a way that maybe they wouldn't normally be able to be spaced. Now this would normally be able to be spaced like this because that whole block is going to stack on top of that one. So if I remove this really quick and I put this on the correct side, actually no, I could have left that. I just put the slope on the wrong side. So you'll see what I here. Alright, so if I put the slope here, you can see now the slope is halfway on, halfway off that wall. Okay, this is how I made a lot of the overhangs in the Redwoods build. This does throw off the roofing a little bit. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not going to match up perfectly if you want to have a nice overhang. So just fair warning on that one. Don't expect to have it look, you know, consistently perfect because it's not going to be after that point. But yeah, you can see here now you have a little bit of an edge there, and then you can either, you know, now this one will click to that, and since it's already off kilter, you're all set. You can just do this, and since they are both offset by the same amount, they will actually not have a gap at all, because technically speaking, there you go, there's the center right there, and you've just basically brought them to their center point instead of bringing them to, you know, an odd number, because you'd normally have one, here I'll show you, you'd normally have one, come on, there, one wall here, one wall in the center, and one wall there. Instead of having an odd number, you have converted it to have a even number of pieces of roof. So this is a nice way to do the roof if, for example, you have an odd number wall, but you want an even number roof. This is a great way to do that because of these little half walls that basically offset it enough that you can, yeah, you can do that. And the nice thing is too is that now, like, you can still use this in here for like a support if you wanted to, and you can put pillars down from this piece if you really wanted to. Like, I probably wouldn't put a piece down from here, but you could put the piece down from here, and the foundations don't care. Like, that doesn't snap there, but the foundation doesn't care, and it now counts as being supported by this foundation. I could destroy like these pieces right here. I could possibly even destroy this piece right here, and it would likely still hold that. Don't hold me to that. Like I said, get a, you know, for the most part, if you pick something up, it'll come back into your pocket now. But when you get to these more complex builds that are kind of using a little bit of, like, not cheaty, but I don't know, cheeky kinds of ways to manipulate the building system, you're going to always run the risk of having a piece breaking and taking a couple extra things with it. I haven't seen it happen too often. I didn't lose too many pieces while I was working on the Redwoods build, but I definitely did lose a few pieces. So now let's see. So if those pillars are correct, I should be able to pick up this piece. Okay, so it picked up everything because those pillars were, yeah, it was snapped to that piece instead of actually snapping to the pillars. So the order in which you snap things does seem to matter still, but honestly, unless you're doing something like super duper crazy complex, you shouldn't have to worry about the order of snapping. But yeah, so you can make all sorts of roofs. you know, have fun with it. If you want the roofing to match up nice and perfectly, use the pieces that match the corresponding foundation. But if you want to get crazy and mix and match and do the railings and flip the railings and flip the stairs and use, you know, stairs as roofs, or like use stairs as like these are really nice to put in the greenhouse so it has like open air. Or if you wanted, you know, the greenhouse glass. The greenhouse glass and all the greenhouse pieces now, by the way, are the same size as everything else. Previously in Ark, the greenhouse pieces were smaller and they never snapped to anything properly. They never fit anything properly. But now they are all a nice, consistent size. So if you wanted to, you could totally create a nice little skylight for yourself with these pieces. And there you go. And it snaps in perfectly. It removed my railings there, but that's okay because I can just put those back, which is the awesome part about the Ark building system. Yep, and there you go. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you learned a lot, and I hope you guys try a lot of different build techniques. And maybe I'll come back with another Ark tutorial. We'll see. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Have a good one. Bye.